guys, I'm Simsley and welcome to my channel. If you've been here before, I'm super glad that you're back, and if you're new here, then welcome in. Today we're creating a tiny house for a craft-loving sim. So if you have a sim that loves to do crafts, or knit, or paint, then this might be the house for you. This house is actually a tiny home, so it's 100 tiles, and I don't know if that makes it a tiny home, but I don't know, I think it's like a tier 3 or something. But it's 100 tiles. And it has 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, and a craft room upstairs, so you'll see it all come together. I cut out a lot of the roofing because it got very overwhelming and complex, and it just took a lot. So I didn't cut out most of the roofing, but you will see it come together fairly quickly. I think the whole video is about 15 minutes long or something. It's not too bad. And I'm really happy, actually, with the way it turned out. At first, I wasn't liking it, and I was like, what am I going to do? I hate this. But I think it came out pretty well, and I hope that you'll like it, too. So you'll see here, I'm just putting the roof on, and I used, like the half gable roof, or whatever it's called. And I put a bunch of those, along with, like, the full gabled roof, just to create a more, like, in-depth look to the roofing. And the build itself, and I think that it came out well. I like it. I started out with these posts on the front porch. They're going to change after, and you'll see that happen. Eventually, well, I don't know if you'll see it happen. I think they'll just be different. But they're not really a focus, so it's okay. I put stuff in here for a cat, because if you're, I don't know, a crafter with like cats. So there's like a pet bowl. There is also a litter box. And there is actually a cat tree on the front porch. There's a bin of pet toys in the backyard, so I guess you could have a dog if you wanted instead of a cat, and just get rid of the cat tree. But the sim that I imagined living here had a cat. So when you walk in the front door, you are in the kitchen to start with, so it's pretty small and cozy, but I think it's nice. It took me a little bit. I fiddled around. I had a closet, then I removed the closet. But it comes together pretty well. It's actually a lot bigger than I thought it was going to turn out. I managed to shift the counters around here, and the layout, it works good. I like it. I always put the sink at the window. I don't know why. I think because in real life, my sink is at the window, and I love it. I like doing the dishes while I look out the window. I would prefer something to look at. Like, in my case, I look into my backyard, I see nothing. I see a tree, and beyond the row of trees in the very back is a highway. So, like, I don't see anything. You can't even really see the highway. Like, you see it very faintly, but not really. I would love to have a sink and a window where you actually saw something out the window. You know what I mean? Like, look out over a beautiful, relaxing field. Or over even a busy city. I think it'd be pretty cool. Like, people watching while you do the dishes. It seems like a good idea. It seems like fun. So you see there that I shifted the fridge over to the other side. We are going to turn it. I just hit my microphone. Sorry. We're going to turn it against the other wall after and add some more cabinets there. But, yeah, we did shift it. We're going to add the doors, and I made the entire thing smaller so that it actually was 100 tiles because it went over at one point. But we're just going to add a back door and windows. But yeah, that's about it. I'll let you watch it, I guess. I haven't really been up to too much. The kids are back in school, which is super awesome. And it gives me a break during the day. Not that it matters. Like, it seems that when my kids go to school, I don't seem to get anything done. I don't know what it is. I think it's that I need to just sit and breathe for a minute. But I never seem to get anything done, so it gets kind of frustrating. But I've been trying. I'm, like, really focused on trying to get things done. I actually run a blog, and so I've been focused on trying to get content written and put on there. It's not about The Sims, actually. It's like a, better living blog. You can, if you want, it's inspiredeverymoment.com. I'll try and remember to put a link in the description, but that's what I've been working on. I guess I kind of use like my psychology degree and my knowledge and that stuff to create content that might help people get over anxiety, depression, and all sorts of different things. It's kind of it's a mishmash of craziness right now, but I like it. I like doing it. It makes me happy, and if it can help someone else, then it makes me double happy. But yeah, I'm going to add some cabinets here in the kitchen. And I'm going to paint the walls in a little bit. I don't know if it's now or if it's after. I think it's soon. Oh, I built a chimney, but you don't see it. I cut it out. So I could put a fireplace in the living room, so I created a little chimney. And I shifted these 2 windows at the back of the house around so many times. Like, the way the roof on this build, it just took a lot out of me. I adjusted it and shifted it, and it took forever. But the windows kept clipping with the roof, and that was making me insane. So it took me a good, half hour to get it working the way I wanted, but I am happy with the way that it turned out. Moving into the living room, we're going to use a couch, a chair, and a coffee table. I used to use this couch all the time, because it's small. I like how small it is. It's easier to fit in the room. When a room's small like this, it fits across it. So I really love this couch, but I hadn't used it in so long, so I decided to use it, and I think it turns out pretty well here. I originally started by putting a bookcase against this wall here. I do end up switching it and adding a desk instead. I know in The Sims, computers are a huge part of everything that they do, and usually you need one, so I want to put one in this build, so I do end up switching that bookcase out for a desk. I guess it's like that in real life too, let's be serious. Your phones nowadays are like a little tiny computer in your pocket, and you have to have one. You really do. I don't understand people that, my dad, okay, granted they're older, okay, give them that, but he refuses to have a cell phone. He just won't do it. He absolutely will not use a cell phone. Actually, when he was in the hospital having surgery, he had something go wrong and he was bleeding internally and he had to stay in the hospital. It was during COVID, so we couldn't even be there with him. So my mom had given him the cell phone. They have a cell phone. And she had left it with him so that he could call and talk to her and everything would be fine. But he had to get the nurses to dial the phone because he didn't even, he doesn't know how to even dial a smartphone. And it's so weird to me. So weird. I remember life without cell phones. I remember what it was like. I'm old enough that I remember a time before computers were even in your house. Actually, it's funny because my family, we were the first ones that we knew to have a computer. We had a Tandy 1000 computer. It's a really old kind of computer. But we were the coolest people because no one else had a computer. So we had all these weird little games for it. And I still remember some of the games, and honestly, if I had them now, I would love it. But yeah, we were the first. So I grew up with technology to an extent, but I also remember when it was not having technology. It's odd because it's something that kids today, my daughter has had a phone in her hand since she was 3, or a tablet or a computer. She's never gonna know. They're never gonna know even what it's like to go knock on a friend's door to call on them. My daughter refuses. She won't. She had a little friend that used to live next door. This little girl they were around the same age, a year apart. The girl was younger. She would not go knock on her door, at all. She made me text the mom, or she would text. She would not go knock on the door. And it blew my mind. I remember when I was little, that was your only way of seeing your friends. And I remember even as I got older, cell phones came out and I was I had going into my teens, let's say. Again, I was one of the first ones to have one. Before that, we had pagers, which, I don't know if you know what a pager is. Doctors use them, Someone would page you and you'd call the number, or they'd leave a message on the pager at one point, I got to that. And you could listen to the message, but there were no cell phones. And the only way to find your friends was to go out and find them. And I remember in my early teen years, I used to go down to the city center of where I live and just wander around until you found people. I will say that that life back then, I think it made it more, you had a bigger group of friends because you kind of met people while you were out looking for your people. And I think in some ways it was good. If I had grown up in the time that we're in now, I'm convinced I would have been famous. I would have had so much fun with TikTok. I would have had, all of it. I would have loved every minute. I was a little past, the time when I would have been able to do that. Obviously, I'm a little bit older, but I think that I would have done well. I still am into it. I still do it. I have a TikTok account, actually, for my Sims. It's down in the description if you wanted to check that out. That'd be really fun. But I think I would have had so much fun if I was young with all this technology. In some ways, they just have so much more opportunity than I did when I was younger. And then in other ways, I feel bad for them because there are some things that existed then that I think they benefit from. So it's kind of a debate, I guess, that either side can win. I'm not against technology at all. Anyway, in my house, like, technology kind of is God. Like, I have a computer. I make sure my daughter has a computer. My oldest son had a computer from the time as far back as I can remember. As soon as I could get a one, I did. And I think that it has its benefits too, especially now, to have them into technology because then they're up with the times and they're not going to be far behind. It's funny because my son was very good with computers. He still is. Like, he can code an entire website and do all that stuff. But my daughter, I think she's going to put him to shame. She is a pretty determined little girl, so if she wants to know how to do something, she figures out how to do it. Right now, she is actually trying to, well, for a little bit there, she was trying to figure out how to create mods for The Sims. Like, she's 11 years old. She'll be 12 next month, actually, in March. But yeah, she's trying to learn how to make mods, and she's just fascinated by any of that. She likes to play Minecraft more than Sims, and she started looking into how to create mods for Minecraft. And I think someday when her attention span's a little bit longer, because she's very much like me and can focus on she's actually worse than me. Like, I have a bad attention span. I have ADHD, diagnosed ADHD, and like my whole life I had it. No one ever looked into it, but I knew I had it. There was no question. But when I got older, actually, I went to the doctor and I was like, listen, I can't do this anymore. Like, I can't focus. I don't get anything done. And I didn't. I got a lot started, but I never really got a lot done. And so I went to a doctor and I explained everything to him. He did a little test, and sure enough, I had ADHD. So he prescribed me medication to help with the ADHD as an adult, and it has made the world a difference. In all honesty, like, everything, I'm not going to say it's better. Like, it's really not, because I still think that the medication needs adjusted. I still have trouble focusing, and there's other barriers, right? But it's really helped with a lot of things. Like, even driving, I drive better when I take that medication. Now my problem is remembering to take the medication, because I do forget. Anyway, I just talked over this whole darn bill. Sorry. But like I was saying, her attention span is really short. See what I mean? I lose track of what I'm saying, apparently. Her attention span is really, really short, and so getting her to focus on something for long enough to learn how to do it. But she is very determined, and she wants to know how to do it. She will seek it out. Like, she knows things that I absolutely have no idea about. So I'm pretty proud of her for that. Okay, so we're up in the craft room here. Now, I added things after I was done filming, because I went up there and I thought about it. But in here, we've got, like, the little crafting table. We've got the craft stuff on the wall. I put a rocking chair. I've got the knitting gear. And, I put, like, a stereo. But I come back in, and I add a guitar and the easel. Because I figure the sim that's going to live here is going to be a creative, crafty person. They're going to need that stuff. So I do add that in. It's not on camera, but I do add it in after. So just so you know, there is that stuff here. This home, I think, is a little expensive. I don't actually remember exactly how much, but I know it's quite a bit. Sorry about that. I'm so bad at creating starter homes. Like, I have to really decide to make a starter home for it to turn out like a starter home, mostly because I absolutely love clutter. And, like, the debug menu is great, and I have, like, the better build by, so it organizes debug into your, like, normal catalog, and it's great. But I never find what I want. I don't know, sometimes I do, but not always. But yeah, we're going to be coming to the end of the build. I'm just going to add some plants outside. We're going to fix up the backyard. But like I said, this is one bedroom, which you saw come together, and one bathroom. And it's also got that crafting room upstairs. If you wanted to, you could easily turn this into 2 bedrooms, because that upstairs crafting room could be a bedroom. But I think I like it a lot. I think I would like to live here. I'm not very crafty. I was when I was younger, but I'm not now. But I think I would have so much fun. And I think this house is cute, and it's cozy, and it's actually got a fair amount of space for being a tiny house. I was surprised when I was done how much space 100 tiles can actually be. So that made me happy. Yeah, so we're going to move on to the backyard in a second. Unless I already did the backyard. I can't remember. No, I don't think I did. But Yeah, I'm just adding some plants out front. I'm going to wrap some grass around the build. We do end up at the end, you'll see I'm going to put a tree in the front yard and just make it like cozier. So in the backyard, I put a garbage can. I'm going to add a little seating area. You'll see, I add some like plant boxes and I add a flower arranging table. So there's plenty to do. Like, I wanted to put the seating area on a platform lowered, but then I would have made it not a tiny house, so I thought I better not do that. Instead, I just put like a little seating area, and I'm going to add a barbecue, a picnic table, and a light, which you'll see. The garden area just has 3 planter boxes, like 3 of the large ones. I think they're like actually like the cheapest large ones. And the flower arranging table, I do end up putting a fence around this whole like back part, and I think it turns out pretty cute. But again, it makes it just more expensive. Like, fences in the game are expensive. But yeah, that's about it. I don't really know what else to say. If you like this build, give it a big thumbs up. I would appreciate that. It really does help me out, and it just honestly makes me feel good. And this will be on the gallery. All the information will be in the description below, and you can download it from there. I always try to put a link, so I will try to remember to do that. And my name everywhere is K8 Simsley, and all the links to my social media are listed below. I'd love to see you wherever you are. But yeah, this is going to be the end of the build. I will let you watch the screenshot, and have yourself a simtacular day. Bye!
Oh, here you are, face to face in this trashy bar. Another glass and I am going places, makes me laugh about the irony of everything. I like the way you're thinking. I don't really care about the music on the dance floor. I don't really mind all the smoke is in the bathroom. I don't care at all, baby, you got my attention. So you were saying, oh no, it's quite a lonely world that we're living in. Oh baby, you are something special, I'm sure. Everything makes total sense when you're next to me. Times, another drink and I'll go